this is Storian. Quick explanation, technically this drawing isn't complete. Unlike the other three I've done, this one doesn't have any shading on it because I may or may not have gotten frustrated with it and decided that it was good enough without it. I think what I'm going to do is redraw this character along with Kryn together, probably for the next video, maybe go more in depth with their relationship, but I haven't quite decided. But anyways, her name is Pyrus. She's the friend I talked about last video with Kryn. She's extremely close with him, but the two couldn't be more different. While Kryn is quiet and reserved and tends to stick to himself, aside from when he's hanging out with her, she is very bold and clearly in charge of 90% of the situations she's in. She's one of those characters that everyone in her town knows and borderline fears. Many people are scared to mess with Kryn in fear that she's around, but if they know she's not, they have no problem bullying him. And despite Pyrus's greatest efforts, she can never really teach him how to fight. Either it's because he just doesn't want to, or because he's too scared to. And as I mentioned in the description of my last video, alexithymia doesn't mean he can't feel the emotions, he just has a hard time processing and understanding those emotions. I also didn't really draw this with him. I drew a few of his scars, but Kryn has a lot of scars just all over him, almost all of which are from when Pyrus wasn't there in time or wasn't there at all. Like, she completely missed the fight, which isn't very often, but it does happen. One of the main reasons people fear her so much isn't just because she can fight, it's because they genuinely don't know enough about her. She kind of just appears and suddenly is in the lead and or beating someone up, and then disappears again. The only real time people see her and she's not fighting is when she's in school. And even then, she'll fight someone at school with no problem. I just mean actively in class, which she normally chooses to sit in the far back, away from everybody, minus Kryn. Kryn tends to sit next to her. But despite her being farther away from all the students, everyone is always aware that she is there and willing to fight them if they make the wrong move. With all that being said, yes, she is aggressive and abrasive, but she's also extremely caring for those she thinks are worth it. For example, every time Kryn is beaten up, she sits there and patches him up, kind of lecturing him on why he didn't fight back, but in the end, it's all because she cares. And when she meets the rest of the main cast, she kind of does the same with them. If they're ever in a fight and they just kind of let it happen, she scolds them and tells them that they're idiots, but in the end, she's patching them up and making sure they're okay. Their wounds aren't getting infected or anything. Also, another side effect of her reputation pretty much means she runs the streets, at least when it comes to the kids. Many of the adults also fear her, but a lot of them just respect her. The area in the surplus in which the majority of the characters are from is one of the worst parts of the surplus, and oftentimes fights break out, and essentially it's just run by a bunch of misfits. And when many of them hear about this young girl who seems to terrify so many people she meets, they grow curious and want to meet her. A few of them actually do and recruit her for some work. She doesn't often agree to the work, only if she really needs the money. Because of the bits of work that she does agree to, though, she has a reputation throughout the whole city, including within the nobles and the safeguard, who are almost constantly out on the look for her. So when her and Ender meet, he actually recognizes her as the criminal so many of his colleagues had been searching for. She came really close to fighting him in that moment simply because she thought he was going to hurt one of her friends or potentially her, but when Destray reassured her that this was the friend he was talking about, she was skeptical and a bit mad at Destray for possibly being friends with a safeguard, but eventually they became friends and actually bonded over the fact that they were such good fighters. The two actually started training together, and I can speak from personal experience with this. People who have different types of fighting styles, when they decide to train together, is really interesting. Mainly because you're forced out of your comfort zone, and you kind of have to figure out what the other person is going to do. And that's exactly what happened. The two started picking up on small details that the other one did, and ended up helping them in later fights because of it. Overall, she could care less about the power and influence she has gained as long as she continues to keep her friends safe. But despite her most priorities being her friend's safety, she's also often the one that kind of gets them into trouble, mainly with her influence. But she knows the streets better than anyone else and can often get them out of said trouble. But with that all being said, this is the point where I got frustrated with the drawing. I couldn't get her arms to look right. So I think we'll be ending this video off here. I hope to redraw her, maybe with the rest of the cast, or maybe with Kryn. I haven't decided. I really hope that drawing comes out better than this one, at least in my opinion. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and to see y'all next time.